Shalom Markings Rakamak Pasham Jim Islam, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Chakadash. Want to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS, and Shalom out there to the hopeful expression of truth and all sincerity. Back to do this part 2 of this video, man. Concerning the Christians' doctrine of hell, and in comparison to our doctrine of 1,000 years of slavery, man. Because that's what's going to happen to these nations, to the heathen. All right, that survived the judgment of the Lord. Right. Well, even beyond that, even those that don't survive the judgment of the Lord, you're going to come back into slavery. Right, and you're going to be in that condition as judgment. All right, as punishment for 1,000 years. All right, so I'm just going to continue where I left off, man, because I say that hell doctrine that you guys are rolling with, man, it's far more crazy and awful, evil than the 1,000 years of slavery, man. Okay, talking about you're going to burn in hell for eternity, right? Well, I'm going to continue where I left off, man. I was about to read Revelation 20, verse 5. It's like him, and it reads here, right? It says, but the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection, right? And what this represents is what I just spoke about the heathen who are deemed as the dead because they have no understanding, right? They're the congregation of the dead. Okay, the way of understanding is in the congregation of the dead. All the heathen are in that state, man, because none of them have understanding. The only people with the understanding are the Lord's elect in this moment in time. Right, so all these heathens are in a dead state of mind already. All right, and you're going to be in slavery, so you're going to be in a messed up situation, right? But after that 1,000 years, man, you're going to live. Okay, and you are going to truly live. You're actually going to live good lives, man. Yeah, not this bullshit life that Esau got us eating off of, man. All this selfishness and lust of the flesh. Fulfilling your wills of the flesh. That's all people are doing here, right? And all that ends up is in just endless wickedness, man. Endless wickedness in this place. That's what Esau promotes as his standard of living. Okay, but like I mentioned in the previous video, man, you're gonna learn the righteous ways of Yahweh Shai. Okay, you're gonna learn how to really live, man. How to really respect one another and live, more righteous lives. All right. So yeah, after 1,000 years, you're gonna go back home and back to your lands. You're gonna build up your own lands. All right, and you're gonna live more righteously, man, because you're gonna be taught by us. Okay, the children of Israel. All right. This is Romans 1:31, right? And I just want to grab this point, right? Because like I said, this whole notion that these Christians hold that whoever don't believe in Jesus Christ, is gonna burn in hell forever, right? And the Most High is a balanced power, right? Yeah, I mentioned he don't care about you other nations. He doesn't. Okay, and he hates Esau. He does, right? But the Most High is not an unfair power. He's not an unbalanced power, right? You did the crime, so you got to do the time, right? That's just how it was said, right? But it said here, it says, I'm gonna start from verse 28, right? And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, and these are all traits that people have in this world. Because like I said, Esau is running rulership, and this is what he promotes to the people, man. Right? That's why this world is so messed up, right? Maliciousness, full of envy everywhere, right? Murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of God, despiteful, proud, boasters boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding. This world is full of lack of understanding, right? Covenant breakers, without natural affection, and impassible, unmerciful. You Christians are unmerciful, man. If you believe or you think it's okay that that someone should burn forever for just simply not believing, right? They should just burn in hell forever, And I was thinking about this, right? There was a time where the Christians used to push that a lot, about burning in hell forever. Yeah, that used to be quite a thing because it used to use it as a scare tactic, right, to get people to convert and follow Christianity. It used to do that a lot, right? Now you don't really talk about it much these days. All right, so people are shocked by the fact you used to talk about, oh yeah, you're gonna burn in hell forever. Same way you kind of get shocked that we tell you you're gonna go into slavery, right? But like I said, you've kind of cleaned up your image a little bit by not talking about it so much, about burning in hell. You act as if Yahweh Shai is some kind of life insurance policy maker. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, believe in Jesus Christ. Believe in Jesus Christ and he will save you from the apocalypse. Believe in the Lord and he shall save you from the apocalypse. Your life insurance. But when you go down into it, you dive down into Christianity, man, that's what they're saying. Look, man, if you don't believe, you're gonna burn in hell. Every last one of you, all your wicked, all the wicked, right? And this begs a question, man. If no one ain't righteous in this world, right? Is it simply enough to say you believe in Jesus Christ and be doing all this wickedness, right? Because I was thinking something a bit controversial. Because I'm pretty sure, Adolf was a Christian, was he not? Did he not believe in the Christ? I'm pretty sure he did, right? Where is he at? I know the common consensus is that my man's burning in hell, like the worst one. He's burning in hell. I know that's the common consensus among you guys out there in the world, but truth is he ain't, right? But he believed, right? So what does this really mean? What does it really mean, man? Like, come on, man. It's all fairy tales, man. It's all fairy tales to scare little children and to being scared adults, into believing in JC, fucking hell, right? But no, right, yeah, you're unmerciful, man. If that's what you believe and that's what you think, people deserve to happen to them, crazy. All right. 2 Peter chapter 1 verse 6. Fix there. Can't talk, man. 2 Peter chapter 1 verse 16. It says, for we have not followed cunningly devised fables, right? Like I mentioned, these are just fairy tales. These are fables. It got a bunch of you early Christians in the church, man, paying your tithes, man. Building the Catholic Church. That's what it was doing. Building in numbers. That's why you got so many of you today. That's why it became the #1 religion on the planet. Right? And that whole inception of the Roman Catholic Church was never righteous. It was never true. It never had the correct doctrine. Okay, it was a church of pagans, man, ruled by pagans. Right, that was only interested in expanding. Okay, they weren't out there searching for the elect. They were out there persecuting the elect. That's, all these things are heresy, right? So these men were hunted down, man, and killed. Okay, the disciples of the Lord, right? They were getting hunted down, right? So that there's never been a righteous institution ever, 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 right? The men of the Lord died. Okay, and that was set up in its place, man, which again didn't have the truth. All right, and that's where they started bringing in all these different doctrines, man. That's why you celebrate Christmas and Easter, right? Believing it to be something to do with Jesus Christ, who you call Jesus Christ, when it has nothing to do with the law whatsoever. Okay, it's a pagan holiday. It's there to cover up paganism. Okay, to entice pagans, other beliefs into the Christian faith. Okay, it doesn't belong there. All right, and hell is just one of those doctrines, man. Like I said, it scared you to handing over your fucking money because you knew you was in sin. Right, and you thought paying all this money to the church was gonna save you, man. Okay, hey, you're still gonna get judged, man. Just you ain't gonna be burning in fire for a whole fucking forever. You're gonna die, return to the spirit world. You're gonna be judged, right? And you're gonna come back here and play whatever judgment the Most High got for you, man. Okay, that's how it's been. Okay, that's how it's been. All right, and those of you that are here today are gonna be here. Okay, some of your judgment is to burn in this fire. It's true. When America gets destroyed, you're gonna burn in this fire. Those of you whoever's there at the point in time that happens, whoever's supposed to be there is gonna be there, and your part of your judgment is to be burnt with fire. It's true, but you ain't gonna be burning there forever. Okay, your spirit is gonna leave that body. All right. You know, and for those of you that are not Israelites, you're going to come back into slavery. You know, just it's as simple as that. All right. So anyway, finishing this off, right? For we have not followed cunningly devised fables, when we made known unto you the power and coming of our Lord Yahweh Shem Mashiach, but were eyewitnesses of his majesty. All right. So we not follow those cunningly devised fables. All right. Pardon me. Right. And this is 2 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 4. It says, and they shall turn away their ears. Let me read up a bit. Start from 2. Right. It says, preach the word, be instant in season, out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. Okay, and that's what we out here doing, beginning of our elders and apostles, right? It says, for the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine. Okay, and that happened. Okay, people got led away with perverse doctrines, right? And like I said, the truth died with them in the Lord, man. They didn't establish no Catholic Church, right? There was no founding fathers of the Catholic Church. There's no such thing. Well, not from the men of the Lord, right? These are all men that were enticed by perverse doctrines, right? Because there was a whole lot of that going around. You can read it; it's there. You know, the Nicolaitans and so on and so forth. There was other groups like that were just and splinters, just like we got today. We got splinter cells, right? People are splintered off from the truth and you know, started doing their own thing. And this is what we keep warning you, man. You stick to the doctrine, stick to what you was taught. You know, stop changing the doctrine, man, because you're just playing the same role as these other guys did back then. Okay, the Nicolaitans and that, man, bringing things into the doctrines that shouldn't be there. And starting your own thing, but your own thing, it ain't gonna stand in the end, man. You know, because things are not how you want it. So you want to change it, or you think this is what it means. And look, you can do all of that. You can do all of that, innit? Like I said, you're here back again today doing the same thing. But in the end, okay, the Lord is gonna consume you with the fire, man. All right. So they shall turn away their ears from the truth and shall be turned. Sorry, I didn't even finish the top bit. Sorry. For the time will come when they would not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lusts shall they heap unto themselves teachers having itching ears. Oh, because it's enticing, it sounds interesting. And now that's why all these other Israelite camps got these 1001 gimmicks for you to be attracted to. Where we just give you the straight and skinny with, you know, with the truth, raw and uncut. You know, but it's not as appealing because, you know, we don't cater to you. We don't cater to the things you know, enjoy of the flesh. And that's what it is. People really just want to go and do what pleases the flesh. And this is not what this truth's about, man. All right? It says, and they shall turn away their ears from the truth and shall be turned unto fables. All right? And that's what's happened with this whole hell doctrine, man. You were turned unto fables, man. And you believe it so hard now. You're so scared. Like you're frozen with fear. Like you have to follow JC. JC gonna have me burning in hell forever otherwise. You know? And there's another thing I was thinking about, you know, since I did the first video, right? From the time we was in slavery, right? And the so-called white man was putting the fear of God into us, man, telling us, you know, how we serving their service and that. Right, this whole notion of fear, because it's fear that's controlling us all, or our people, right? Because in captivity, man, we're in hell already, man. We're getting fucked up by you so-called white people. We're being fucking atrociously treated. We're already in fucking hell. You're already fucking burning us. You're already fucking chopping our rods off. You're already fucking whipping us and fucking having us ripped up by dogs. You're already feeding our children to alligators and shit, man. We're in fucking hell already, man. But you're still pushing us. We need to serve the master, right? Serve the master, because that's, you know, what the Most High would want, right? Because if you don't, guess what's gonna happen to you? You're gonna burn in hell. You know, you're gonna burn in hell, and that's fear, man. Because it's like, you know, some people bought that, others didn't, but it's like that was the fear, and that fear continues, man. You're following JC because you don't want to burn in fucking hell, man, forever, man. Because that is a fucking atrocious punishment. Which shows you, man, that burning in hell is definitely worse than just being in slavery. Even though all the madness that was happening to our people, man, that next level, that burning forever in fire, well, that's a whole different level, man. right? You can't, you shouldn't be denying that. You can't deny that, man. You know, we're merciful, man. We're merciful. You know, grabbing, where am I now? Yeah, Psalms 86, verse 15 says, "But thou, O Lord, art a God full of compassion." Right? Obviously, he's speaking about us, right? He is full of compassion for us, right? But he is compassionate. He is, like I said, he don't care about you heathens, but, the Most High is a fair and just God, right? God is full of passion and gracious, long-suffering and plenteous in mercy and truth, right? The Lord is long-suffering. So like I mentioned about the judgments, like, you haven't had your judgment or your punishment come in an instant, in the time that it happened, right? So the Lord is long enduring, so it doesn't have to happen now, which means the Lord still has it in his plans to bring judgment, right? So just purely saying, no, because it happened not in my lifetime, it happened, in eras past, my forefathers and that kind of stuff, that you had nothing to do with it, that you're not escaping it, man. Most High is long suffering, right? He should let his shit play out. He still plans to jack your shit up. Best believe that. All right. The Most High is not an unjust God. Okay, everyone pays for their wickedness, man. All right. This is Proverbs 16 and 11. A just weight and balance are the Lord's. So are the Lord's. All the weights of the bag are His work. Right. A just balance. The Lord's a balanced God. All right. So like I said, you reaped and you will sow. Sorry, you sowed and you will reap what you have done. There is no escaping that. Cain, Esau. Right? You can't run forever. You can't just brush it off. Like, you've got nothing to do with you, man. The Lord's been waiting to punish Cain, or the spiritual descendants of Cain for ages, right? Esau, Amalek, all of them. The Lord's been waiting to jack their shit up, man, on the next level. Right? The Lord knew he was going to jack them up from the beginning. So how do you think you get away with things? If the Lord planned on destroying you from the beginning. For when He made you, He planned on destroying you. He made you to be destroyed. He knew what He was going to do with you, what your purpose was. You still don't understand it. You so-called white people still don't understand what your purpose is in all of this. That's why, it seems like you're getting, side-shotted, man. But here it is, we're telling you, but you don't want to believe it because you don't believe you deserve that. You don't believe it could even happen. Right? You believe yourself to be righteous on the earth, man. And that's what the biggest joke about it. The Lord has actually got you believing that you're somehow some righteous people on the earth, that the world needs you, man. The world has been destroyed under the hand of you devils, man, under you Edomites. Like, the earth will be done a favor to be got rid of you, man. And that's exactly what the Lord's going to do eventually. And that's why your judgment is beyond the rest of the nation's judgments, in that after 1,000 years, the Lord's going to get rid of you. Whereas the other nations, they're going to, like I said, go back home, go back to the lands and build their homes and stuff. Live out their lives, their mortal lives, right? But Esau's not, because such is his judgment, man. He has the judgment of Cain upon him. That's why Cain says, my judgment is greater than I could bear, because it ends with destruction, like utter destruction. No root, no branch, as the scriptures say. Right? Because like I said, the Lord said in particular that He hates Esau. That's why His judgment is greater than everybody else's. So think yourself lucky, man, you heathens out there. Okay, that you're not Esau. All right. This is Proverbs 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear fruit, the people mourn. All right. Eventually, beginning with Yahushua, the Israelites are going to be in power. Right? They are the righteous. Right? You might not think it right now. All this talking of slavery and ass whoopings and busting heads and shit, right? It don't sound like it right now. But you will learn to appreciate who and what we are and why we are here. You will learn to do, to understand and appreciate that. right? So if you're ignorant enough to believe that you'd rather be burning in hell, I don't know what to tell you, man. Because the Lord says it's different, right? The outcome of this is different to what you think. Yeah, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt for the whole 1,000 years that you're in state. Yeah, it's gonna hurt, man. But you will learn to appreciate it afterwards. You will understand about your transgressions. You're gonna know that it's divine judgment against you. That is the Most High's will. You're gonna understand all these things, all right? And it says you're going to rejoice. You will rejoice. You will be happy after this. And it ain't gonna be some fake thing where the WF says, "Oh, you owe nothing and be happy." It's not gonna be no fake thing where it's just some underhanded snide comments that they don't give a fuck if you're happy or not. You actually be happy. You enjoy your lives, man. So you'd rather pick eternity in hell over the 1,000 years of slavery, man. I guess I don't know what to say to you, man. I don't know what to say to you, man. You're crazy, It's Isaiah 2:1. And it says here, the word of that Isaiah, the son of Amos, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the tops of the mountains, right? Above all the nations, just like it says in Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6, that we were to be above all nations. We have a duty, we have a position, an office to fulfill on this earth as rulers and maintainers of order on the planet, right? The reason why this falls in disorder is because we're not in our position and we haven't, been made perfect yet. Right? That's why the second covenant has been established with the house of Judah and the house of Israel, for us to be perfect. Once we're placed on top and in rulership, things are going to change in the earth, man. All right? It says, and shall be exalted above the hills, exalted above the other nations, and all nations shall flow unto it. And the many people shall go and say, come ye and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach of his ways, right? So like I said, you heathens are going to come to that understanding, unto that knowledge that you were wicked, man. You got your ass beat because you was wicked, and you violated the Most High's children. And that's a big no-no, right? You understand that you fucked up, right? And you're going to be seeking to us for knowledge and wisdom. This is the righteous order of things, man. This is the righteous way. The Israelites are meant to be rulers over the earth. You even were meant to be ruled and guided by us. Because this world is in disorder right now. It's in chaos. Every man's following his own way, being influenced by Esau. And it's just leading to more and more wickedness on the planet. So then he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. So you're going to walk in our ways, right? For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Okay, so we're going to bring around peace in the earth. Not like Esau, the red horse that taketh peace from the earth, but we're going to establish peace in the earth, right? But first, your nations have to get whooped, right? You have to bear the rod of correction, because that's what it is. It's a chastisement. It's a rod of correction, And it first came to us. We had to be corrected first, because we're the ones that have to do all this, man. So we have to learn first, right? That's why we got it so bad. That's why we ended up in the hands of our enemies. We had to learn it first, so we could teach you how to be righteous, how to live on the planet, how to respect the planet, how to respect others. Because you humans don't know how to do all that, man. You think you do, but evidently you don't. Right, and this is the last scripture that I had. Is Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 5. Right, it says, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me. This is Moses speaking to the children of Israel, right? Pardon me. He said that ye should do so in the land whether you go to possess it. All right, and this is why this second covenant is being established with the children of Israel. So when we go back to the land, we keep it perfectly. Okay, these things are going to be written inside us, man. We ain't going to need tablets of stones and scrolls and, have to read up and, do all this stuff and teach one another. It tells you that my brothers won't be teaching one another, man, because all shall know me. But we're still going to have to teach the other nations, the heathen, because they're not us. They've not received, they ain't received that. They're not part of the second covenant. They ain't part of any covenant, right? First or second, right? So it's our duty and our role to teach you once we've been made perfect. All right? It says verse 6, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations. And that's why you're going to come to us in the kingdom to learn of our ways, because we're going to have the knowledge and the wisdom. All right? For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. That's what you're going to be thinking about us, man. That's how you're going to think of us. Right? There ain't going to be none of this enmity that you think you're going to have because we fucking whipped your ass for 1,000 years. Right? That's going to be that's going to be in the past. You're going to know what it is. Like I said, you're going to understand why you got whooped. Right? But after 1,000 years, you ain't going to remember too much anyway. Right? It's going to be all that enmity, all that animosity that you're feeling against us in the kingdom. That's going to be beaten at you anyway. Right? You just have to come to terms with the facts, the truth. Let's come to terms with the truth and understand your place in this world, man. The most High's purpose for you in this world. All right? But you would appreciate it. All right? Like I said, it beats fucking burning in hell for eternity, man. Right? It says, verse 7 says, for what nation is there so great? This is how you're going to think of us, right? Who have God so nigh unto them, as the Lord our God is in all things that we call upon him for. And what nation is there so great that have statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law, which I set before you this day? All right? So you are going to come to that understanding, man, that we're good for you. Okay? And, correction has to happen. That rod of correction has to come upon you, man. But surely that's better than burning in hell for eternity, man. But you got the cheek to call us evil. Okay, we're actually a blessing to the earth and to the people on it. Right? JC is gonna have you burn in hell forever, man. Yeah, that ain't no blessing. they ain't merciful. They ain't compassionate. Man, gonna have you there burning in hell forever with Satan. Fucking hell, man. Right? Now, you Christians are evil, man. You're demented. You lack understanding. You're demented, right? And cruel. And your history shows you that you're cruel. And like I said, you kind of changed your image a bit, from back then. Okay, but it's still bullshit. Still based on the same shit. Right? Those that don't believe going to hell. And like I said, hell is not a real place in terms of that spiritual underground place. Don't exist. Right? It's a condition, right, that's played out on earth. It could be the ground, the grave, where you dust to dust, where you get put to the earth, right? And it could represent judgment. Especially when it speaks about the hellfire, it's talking about the judgment that's going to come upon the earth, right? When the Most High unleashes them nuclear missiles around the place, man. Especially in the land of America. All right? But that's all I got for you anyway. I thought I'd just finish this off. So Lord willing, it was edifying. And yeah, if anyone tells us that we're evil, man, just tell you, Christian, man, you believe in people burning people forever in hell, man. That's nothing compared to 1,000 years of slavery. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom, and I'll catch you brothers and sisters on the next video. So till next time, I say shalom.